I am back in my
iconic glory.
Before you watch this video, please subscribe and like this video so that you can support your girl here, and I would very much appreciate that. What's up? I hope all of you have been doing well. Welcome back to my channel. There's almost like 300 of you now, and I know it's been like 7 months because I just stopped making videos after a little thing called COVID, coronavirus, Miss Rona, whatever you like to call it, hit. So here I am, I'm back, refreshed and rejuvenated after 7 long months of doing nothing. I'm sure during this time where you were in quarantine, myself included, there's really been a huge increase of our social media consumption. And so I want to make sure that we're all using social media mindfully and not creating an unnecessary amount of usage around these platforms without even thinking about it and having it affect our mental health and our overall well-being. So first of all, you need to recognize that anything that you do is most likely a habit. If you don't know anything about habits, I know there's a great book, which I personally haven't read, but I'm sure it's great, called The Power of Habit. I always want to get to reading that, but I just have too many self-help books to read, and it's more science-based. So if that's your jam, go read it, check it out. Anyways, you need to recognize that you going on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, if anyone still uses that, is a habit. Habits are formed through repetition. Usually it's mindless repetition. So having your coffee and you start noticing that you have nothing to distract you while you're having your coffee, because we all need a distraction for some reason. So you start going on your phone and checking if somebody sent you a message, checking if your crush posted any new cute photos on their account, looking at cute animals like I do, because it's fun, it's nice. I'm not saying social media is bad. There's definitely lots of good information, lots of cool things to look at while you're on these platforms. And sometimes, you know, it's an important part of your day. Maybe it's part of your job, whatever. We have these platforms in our life and we have to learn to coexist with them whether we like it or not, because we're kind of like pushed into this digital age without any preparation. So let's make sure that we are using them to our advantage. Once you've noticed and become aware of how social media fits into your life and how you want it to fit into your life, you want to start looking at how you are taking initiative to interact on these platforms. So you're putting energy towards these platforms. The first level would be just being on these platforms and viewing content. The second is kind of taking like an active role in it, which is like posting, liking photos, talking to people, engaging, leaving comments. That's something that's more active and on an engaging basis, which would lead to more of a heavy usage, which could lead to you being more addicted. So if you don't post at all, you just go on it to look at stuff, maybe this point isn't for you and maybe you're like not even that addicted to this platform. I could be wrong. You could be like obsessed with looking at cute puppies, because I know I am. If you are someone who posts on the platform, which many of us are, you want to start looking at how often you're posting. I know a big contribution to why I was personally so obsessed over being on Instagram was because I was literally posting on it daily. Back then, I wanted to be a social media influencer, and so I thought one of the requirements was to post all the time. That's what all the business gurus, like online marketing experts. So I posted every single day, and that kind of created a habit around being on the platform every single day. Can you schedule that instead of being on there and posting yourself all the time? There's so many auto posting websites and businesses and apps. You can just like research or like Google them. They can automatically post for you, so you can just remove yourself a little bit, because every time you're opening up these apps, you're exposing yourself, creating a new habit, of always being on these platforms. Personally, I went from posting every single day, which was completely unsustainable and just like not great for my mental health, to posting once every 3 to 4 days, and then slowly decreasing my posting time to once every single week or once every 10 days, which is something I never thought I could do because I was that obsessed or that
addicted.
Trust me, once you start decreasing your usage, at first it'll feel very uneasy and unsettled because you're changing a dynamic that you've been doing for so long. It's gonna take you a little bit of time to change that. So be patient with yourself and make sure you're setting realistic little steps for you to ease off of these platforms instead of completely going from one extreme to the other. Another big reason why I was obsessing over these platforms and constantly checking them was because I was caring about my followers. I know so many people, even if they're not trying to build a business on Instagram or any other platform, care so much about followers because we are intrinsically wired for approval and validation. This effing sucks, but it's the way it is. This is just the way we are because as a social species, we had to interact with others in order to, amass resources to survive. Know that just because you care about whether or not someone follows you or how many followers you have doesn't make you a weird, insecure person. It's very normal to care if somebody follows you because in a way it communicates that you're accepted, you're well liked, and who doesn't want to be liked? So it's completely normal. Don't beat yourself up over it, but make sure you're not getting to the point where your followers are reflecting your self-worth, because that is not a healthy place to be in. So if you're noticing that you care about how many people are following you or who is following you, funny thing that I did that really helped with this is completely cutting yourself off from looking at your own social media page. What you're going to do is never look at your own page. So you know that icon on the bottom of your Instagram, so you know that icon on the bottom right hand corner of your phone there? Never click it. You're gonna have to train yourself to do this, but you can do it. Never look at your followers. I repeat,
never look at your followers.
Sure that this is, and make sure that you're consistently doing this. So if, for example, somebody wants you to pull up your profile because they want to add you on Instagram, which is fine, like let people add you on Instagram, take their phone, type in your name, don't even click into your profile, just pull up your name and hand it right back over to your friend. Just hand it right back over to them and just let them click into it and then click the follow. Like, don't follow yourself for them, because then you can see on the top your followers and it's gonna trigger you and then you're gonna feel not good enough. A lot of times we get triggered by little things and we don't even think about it on a deeper level, why we're triggered by it. And it just adds up, like over time, re-triggering ourselves without knowing or addressing those feelings. And that's why you just feel like shitty about yourself all the time. So those are 2 tips. Never ever click into your profile to look at that top section. Even if you post photos, just post them and just never look at how they look on your feed. If you need to, download an app like Planoly or other like planning tools to plan out your feed. That's what I personally do, to look at your feed. Like if you really want to look at it on a different app. This helps, trust me. After a while, I just like completely had any association or like connection to who's following me, how many people are following me, and it just feels awesome. I feel free from the control of like whether or not I'm validated from this app. And if you do slip up and start feeling shitty about people unfollowing you or not following you back, just realize that, hey, whether or not they follow me doesn't make me more or less money, so it doesn't matter. And lastly, you want to acknowledge what kind of needs these platforms are fulfilling on a deeper level. Maybe you have a need for novelty and you always want to do something new and fresh and exciting, and right now during quarantine you can't do that, so you're on social media because there's like so much content that's like new and fresh every single day that you keep yourself distracted. You need to recognize that you don't have to fulfill the need for novelty by always looking at new content every single day. You could do something different with your current routine. Maybe you're waking up and doing the same thing every single day. Maybe you can break that by meditating or journaling in the morning. I know personally I was getting bored with my routine, so I tried to reach out to new friends, or I tried to do something a little bit different, start a workout routine, or make some new foods. Those are ways that you can really meet the need of novelty without needing to always be on social media. Or if you have a need for connection and you feel connected when you're on these platforms commenting with random strangers, you can reach out to your friends over a phone call. That's gonna make you feel so much better than getting little bits of connection with strangers here and there. If you need to feel validated, and that's why you take cute pics and post them all the time, instead of posting it and putting it out there, you can enjoy your outfit and like validate yourself that like you look great today. You don't really necessarily need to share it, because if someone doesn't like your photo, then you might feel invalidated, which just is counterproductive. Make sure you know the reasons why you're using these platforms, because it's most likely fulfilling a need that could be fulfilled in other ways that are healthier and more sustainable over the long term. So that's really it for today. I want to share these tips because they really worked for me, and I feel so much better after almost a year of recognizing that social media became a much larger part of my life than I wanted it to. Started taking value away from my life more than it was adding value. So if you're noticing that that's what's happening to you, make sure that you implement these tips. Leave any tips that you might have that helped you stop using social media. Maybe you just completely deleted it and you're like a badass like that. Let us know. Post it down in the comments below. And I would appreciate it if you could subscribe and like this video so that more people can join this iconic community, so that we can really learn cool tips on how to become the most iconic versions of ourselves. Until next time, remember to stay iconic.